Arenado and Dickerson, they want to draft and develop. These are two kids that they better get their arms around because Tulo and Cargo are not going to stay here forever if the Rockies don't win. They will have had enough pretty soon, maybe this year. But Arenado is a great two-way player, offense and defense. And Corey Dickerson, so Arenado was my boy 2 years ago. Corey Dickerson was my boy last year. I wrote about them, talked about them, heralded them, and Arenado came through. And they sent him back to the minors 2 years ago, which was a mistake. And then they finally brought him up. The last year, they shipped out Corey Dickerson at the beginning of the year. I don't know what it is, what they have with shipping guys out. This year's John Gray. Yeah. He was shipped out. It's almost like, okay, we're going to teach you a lesson. Yeah. At the sake of losing 100 games, we're going to make sure you spend some more time in the minor leagues. Having watched him, Arenado or Dickerson, which one you think is going to have the better career?
Oh, wow.
You like that one?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take it back to front. Career, I'm going to say Arenado. Just that defensive piece, I think he's just going to be I think he's going to become one of the national faces of what it is to be an excellent third baseman in Major League Baseball, and I just think that's going to be his star. He can obviously swing the bat. He's going to be productive at the plate as well, and so I think those two things combined, I think I would give him the career edge this season. I do like Dickerson.
Oh, we won't shoot you if you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dickerson. But the thing about the Rockies is I like a lot of the young guys. I mean, listen, at the plate, it's really not much of an issue with this team, and defensively, it's really not much of an issue. They're one of the better defensive teams, or they should be one of the better defensive teams, I think, in the league. And so, just pitch to that. And I think they did a little bit of that in Milwaukee.
Dickerson had defensive liabilities, and that was one of his problems. I think he's improved, but left field is where bad defensive players go to die. You can put them in left
go
field.
Over there. Yeah.
And I cite for you Dante Bichette. So, I mean,
right.
Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, it was always right fielder. Oh, you go play right field. Which was surprising to me because nobody ever got around on the ball, so the balls would go to right field all the time for right-handed hitters. Dickerson will never be the defensive player that Arenado is, and is playing a more suspicious kind of position in left field. You don't have to be the greatest player in the world. I think Corey Dickerson is going to be to this team like Todd Helm was. He's going to be a doubles hitter. He's going to be a home run hitter. That's the way Todd started, and his home run production fell off. But I think Corey Dickerson could be here for 15 years. Yeah. He's a great kid. They're both great kids. Corey Dickerson's a great kid. He's from Mississippi. He wasn't heralded like Arenado was, who's a high draft pick. Corey Dickerson barely got paid attention to when he was growing up and playing ball and playing in college. I think Corey Dickerson, who could have won the batting title last year if they hadn't sent him down or if they put him in the lineup, I think Corey Dickerson's going to win the batting title this year. I think Arenado's going to be the all-star, though. He's going to be the all-star, and if Tulo were to leave, he would have to become kind of more the face of the franchise, right. I think.
And I think he'd be the guy. I think he'd be. Don't you think he's ready for that? He's ready to kind of ascend to that level of responsibility, being a face of the franchise, being a leader, is he still working to that?
As long as Tulo's next to him, he's going to be the prodigy to the mentor.
Right.
And we've gone almost 45 minutes without mentioning it, but Tulo and Cargo have survived 3 games. It's almost as if we need to put up a poster on the wall and say,
what we should have is like a survival calendar or something, and just mark the days off.
Maybe we can figure that out. That they managed to be, because the Rockies always talk about, look at our winning percentage when Cargo and Tulo are on the field. Well, look at your losing percentage when they're off the field. But if they can stay in the lineup, once again, maybe they're playing significant games in September.
Well, and another thing that's interesting, and the Rockies have done some funky things with the lineup today for the opening day's game, and shifting some guys around in the order, batting the pitching. Yeah, absolutely. And but don't you think that's a little bit more? There was a lot of talk about Walt Weiss and having more power, having more say this season. Don't you think it's a little bit of a product of that?
Oh yeah. The worst thing they've ever done, and we'll get to that after I tell you this segment, sponsored by John Elway Cadillac of Park Meadows, Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealer.
When you go to buy a car, what do you really want? You probably want a lot of cars to choose from. And you want the dealership's best price. Not some starting price or target price, the best price. And you want it immediately, not after hours of negotiating. And you want a salesperson who doesn't get paid more if you spend more. Because, well, you don't want to spend more. Well, you're in luck. John Elway wants all of those things too. Better yet, John Elway wants you to have all of those things too. Come see us or click on elwaydealers.com.